what do we treasure most? What do you treasure most? If God appeared to you in a dream and invited you to ask for anything you desire, what would it be? What would it be now in the midst of this very strange time through which we are living, this pandemic, and the social unrest in our country? What matters most to you and to us? Our first inclination might be the kind of checklist mentioned in the story of Solomon, being able to pay our debts, to be assured of employment in the midst of economic crisis, for good health for us and for all we love, an end to violence in our world. And the list could go on and on. Now, all of these are very worthwhile and understandable desires of our hearts. But is there something still deeper? Something that underwrites all of these normal human desires? I thought of St. Augustine. I've spoken to you on a number of occasions about St. Augustine. We know him as a great bishop and theologian of the church, but for 30 years, Augustine searched for what would bring him happiness. What would settle his heart? In his famous autobiography, Confessions, he writes this: "O God, because you have made us and drawn us to yourself, our heart is restless until it rests in you." In the logic of our Christian faith, my brothers and sisters, our everyday longings for peace, love, security, safety, everything that our hearts desire, are really symptoms of a far deeper, a far greater longing for the fullness of life with God that will endure and never end. That is the kingdom of heaven. Unending life, being surrounded by the perfection of God's love, experiencing God's mercy in the time of our judgment, being healed of our brokenness, and experiencing the healing of the brokenness in our world and often in our lives. That is the treasure that is at the heart of every longing of our human hearts. The beautiful thing is that in every Eucharist, for a moment, we enter into that heavenly reality. In our Catholic tradition, there is a long-held belief that when we celebrate the Eucharist here on earth, it connects us with a heavenly liturgy in God's presence that goes on endlessly for all eternity. We come to our Eucharist to pray for happiness, for life, for blessings, for holiness, for peace, for justice. And in our prayer for this moment, and especially in the moment of Holy Communion, we are one with God. My brothers and sisters, know how much the Lord loves each one of you, each one of us. It's not because of the perfection of our love that he loves us. It is because the love of God is perfect. And the love of God touches the deepest reality and the deepest longings of our hearts. More than money, more than security, more than prosperity, more than good health, the heart of our human longing is the longing for God. How wonderful it is that in the fleeting reality of our lives, for a moment, at every Eucharist, and especially in the moment of communion, we are one with God, and we have a taste even now of that coming kingdom of heaven.